Hi everyone, this is Sharon. Today I have a flip through of this Christmas prayer journal. It's a custom order for Mary. On the front cover, I created this closure with this beautiful gold velvet ribbon. And I just clipped that together with this piece of vintage jewelry. It is a pin. So I'll just pull that out. I just wrapped that around a couple times, and under the ribbon I just tucked in a couple of pieces, this beautiful card, and I backed it with this floral image. So Mary, if you want to change it up and sometimes want to have this to the top or sometimes want to have this pretty floral to the top, that would work as well to give it a different look. And then I also have this card in there, and just back that with some old book page. And then for the cover, I repurposed this old book cover. I love it. It's got this deep red leather trim on it and kind of a beige canvasy cloth cover. And I embellished that with some beautiful lace. And I like the spine, so I left most of that exposed, and then this is the back side. I think it's got a nice sort of a traditional Christmas look to it, but you'll find that the inside is not so traditional as far as color scheme, and it might say more prayer journal than Christmas, although I have incorporated a number of Christmas stamps and things in here. Mary had requested an old world feel with a lot of images of Mary and Jesus as well as angels. So I do have those. There are angels everywhere in here, Mary. So for the inside cover, I use this pretty lace image on the front. And then on the back cover, I've got another pretty lace image. So for the first page, I've got this Mary and Jesus and John the Baptist, I believe that is. And I trimmed that up with some old French fabric and some lace. On this page, I clipped on this really pretty winter scene. And on the back, I provided some writing space, a stamp. And then here, I just embellished the page a little bit with some lace and that stamped image. On this side of the page, I have this vintage Christmas card, and it's clear through here. And so what I did on the back side of the page was just use some stencil paste and stencil these stars on to the page so that when it's closed, you can see those through there. On this page, and this page is an old music cover sheet, I created this little journaling spot, so it's got these images on there, and I used some grosgrain ribbon to attach all those. And then on the backs, I just did a bit of stenciling to these antique book pages. Here I've got an old onion skin letter from the early 1900s for the book page. And then on this side, I just created this little shallow pocket with this full button. And then in there, I clipped in this old postcard of this young man in his winter garb. And I just added a little bit of stencil paste on there to kind of embellish it a bit. This is another piece of stenciling that I used on the page. And then for the center of this first signature, I've got this beautiful old lace that I used for tuck spots. And then the pages have these pretty angel images. And in there, I printed these images. I'm trying to think if I printed on vellum or waxed them. I do believe they're printed on vellum. And then I just use a decorative stitch and stitch them onto these antique book pages. And then on the strings, I've just got some old beads on there. Here on this side of the page, I've got another shallow pocket, and then I've got this Christmas piece on here, little journaling spot. Here's the other side of that music sheet, Oh Holy Night. And then here I turned the page in and created this belly band across there, and that holds this little document keeper. I just got that tied up with some baker's twine. And this is my favorite image of a nun. And then on the inside I created sort of a little booklet type thing. So on the inside here I've got a tuck spot, and I've got this old Victorian Christmas scrap piece. And then I've got various types of paper in here. Just stitch those all together. Here's another little tuck where I put in this little card. Some more stenciling, and then this is the other side of that Christmas card. And then in there I created this little journaling card, and I used some old French notebook paper. And then I just added some strips of antique book page where she can write little notes or verses or whatever she would like to. You've got a little piece of cloth that I stitched onto the page. And then here I have this beautiful antique lace. I don't know what kind of, it looked like it was from some type of a garment maybe. And then I just created a pocket with that. And then in there I've got this old antique French letter. And that is dated, looks like 1870. And I really love this one because on the inside it's got like an embossed stamp of the person's name. I used some antique ledger for one of the pages and then just trimmed that up a little bit. Here I created a small pocket, and then in there I've got this little card, and then this pretty image of the church. Here I took a large paper doily and waxed it, makes it translucent, and then I just folded that up for a little tuck on the bottom. And then in there I inserted this old check from New Zealand from 1933, and then I made a tag with this beautiful image, and then just used some old wool for my tie at the top. Again, did some stenciling at the top. On this side of the page, I used, here's one of my favorite angel images. And I just added that to this envelope and added some trim. This is a handmade envelope, but I used some old craft paper that has some little lines through it to create this envelope. So I'll be sticking this little card in there. And then I also used some old music paper for the page. Here I used some of this beautiful gauzy lace fabric. It's really old and I just love the way it feels and looks. And then I added to the top of that my favorite color, velvet ribbon. It's kind of a deep teal. And then I also added some lace on there. I've got this beautiful image in the center of the signature, and then just added a little bit of lace to embellish the bottom. Here on this page, this is a vellum top tuck. On this page, I turned the page in, and it had 3 holes punched in it. So I just took this gold ribbon and wove that in there, and that creates a little side tuck where you could stick something in. And then on this side of the page, I've got this little booklet that I made, this image of the chapel on the front, and I added this lace and metal on there. And then on the inside, there's some vellum and onion skin pieces of paper and places to write. This page I just embellished with a little bit of lace trim. And then here I've got some velvet ribbon behind this wax seal. And then the other side of that doily, and in this tuck I've got, this is some straw paper that I folded up, and it creates this little tuck in here where you could store something inside of there, or you could open the whole thing up and use it as writing space. I punched the bottom, added this beautiful angel image and some lace. And then I also tucked in there this antique Christmas postcard. On this page, I created this small pocket and put this angel on there, and in that pocket I've got this old photo of a nice winter scene. Another beautiful angel image, and I just embellished that page with this metal filigree piece. And then here I created a double belly band with this beautiful deep blue velvet. Did a little embossing on there. And then in that pocket, again, I've got some Victorian Christmas die cut. And then this is a piece from an old French notebook. And I just put this angel image on the front and a little bit of wool trim on there. And then I added this piece in here just to have some room to write. Here I created a pocket with these window images, and then in there I've got a couple of journal spots and back those with craft paper. And then this is gold ink that I just stamped onto the top of that paper. Here I created some side tucks and embellished that with this beautiful trim. And then in this side I've got this tag. Just added a little bit of tulle to the bottom. And then on this side, got this card, and I just added some sari trim on there. Give it a little sparkle. And then I backed this one with an old envelope piece. And then also on the top of this page, I clipped on with this bulldog clip some old laces, some old French fabric, just a couple of extra pieces that can be played with. And then this beautiful page again with some sari trim on the top. I love this image of the mirror or the frame. And then I always have to add some nature elements in every journal, even if it is Christmas. Here I created a pocket on the bottom and added this pretty trim on there. And then I've got this tag. I just love this angel image. She almost seems to glow on there. Here I created a top tuck with this beautiful lace piece. And then in there I've got this, I don't know if it's vintage or antique, but it's an old Christmas card. It's just got some gold gilding around the outside. And then here I created this piece, this large image. This is from Everlasting Journals. And then I created the side tuck on the inside and just have a couple of pieces in there. This is a waxed piece of of an old manuscript image. On this page, I did some mixing of my waxes to try to get this beautiful bluish gray color to match the page. And then I just created a little cluster underneath there. On this page, I had this beautiful piece of old lace. It's real thin and kind of stretchy, and it just fit this corner perfectly, so it could be used as a tuck spot to tuck something into. And then on this little page that's an old ledger sheet, I've got this journaling card. On the inside, I created a couple of side tucks on each side. And I just love this image of the Christmas feast. And then again, a piece of an old German Christmas scrap. I just adhered that to the page. Here I've got a top tuck, and then in there I just inserted this pretty tag. And then on this side of the page, I've got some handmade paper for the page, and I did some a light stamp on there of this angel in gold, and then I just added this old fabric and lace on here for a little tuck, or a belly band, I guess you could say. It's a low belly band. And then in there I put this Christmas postcard. In the center of the signature, I have this beautiful old image, and then I just used some old script for the strings to dangle on. And then I also did a little embellishment at the top with this old fabric and a little slow stitching on there. And then on this side, in this top tuck, got another tag. Here I created a little pocket, and in there I tucked this old handwritten letter. I don't know what the date is, but it's got this beautiful purple ink and handwriting, and there's just a little bit of a raised kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, like almost like an emblem or a monogram on there. I love this image of the angels. And on this page, again, I just added a little embellishment with some old paper. I love using this old paper I pulled out of an old steamer trunk. And then I've got this medallion on there. I just added a little bit of gold gilding on there. And then on this side of the page, I've got this piece that swivels, so you could do some secret writing under there. And then I've got this image transfer on here that I did to tape, and then embellished that with a little bow. Here I created a pocket, and in there I've got this little card. And then I've got this image. I absolutely love this image. It's of angels surrounding baby Jesus and putting up this tree. And I just added a little bit of sparkle with some glitter on there. On this page, I clipped, here's what the page looks like. And then I've got this, some old book page that I put on there. And then this is a little piece where I've got, it's a journaling card, but I've tied this top piece on with this ribbon. And then this is the back. There's a little side tuck. I just put this card in there. Here's another image of Mary and Jesus, and on this I created a page using an old envelope from 1955. And I was going to create a pocket with it, but I decided to leave it fully open because the inside of the envelope was this just a beautiful kind of periwinkle blue color. So I just trimmed that up a little bit on the top. That can be used as a writing page. And then over on this side of the page, I took a tag and cut it in half and used that as a side tuck. And then in there I've got a couple of journaling cards. And then in the center of the signature, I've got this old book cover image behind this angel image. And then I've added some beads onto the strings. Oh, I forgot to mention in one of these past signatures, I've got just a little medal and a cross hanging from the bottom of the strings. And then in these two pockets on this side, I've got this beautiful image, and it's some book pages, probably from Rachel at Roxy Creations, probably one of her paper packs. Looks to be in Italian. And then on this side, I've just got this little journal card. Space to write inside, and then I tucked this vintage piece of wallpaper in the pocket as well. And then here's the other side of that tag to create a tuck on this page. And then I've got a couple of items in there. Love these old bills. I just added a little bit of silk ribbon to the bottom of that. The other side of that envelope. And on the outside of this side of the envelope, I just did some stenciling with ink. And then over on this side of the page, I've clipped on a couple of items, an old book page, and I just used some straw paper to wrap over the top of it because this top piece is onion skin and it's quite fragile. It's pretty lightweight. And I just adhered some image transfers of these angels on there. This is the angel that's overlooking Jesus. And then on the back side, I just folded it over and stitched across there and just added this gold Noel on the back. And then on this side of the page, we've got another angel. And on there, I've clipped this card. There's a little pocket on the back there you could put something in. And then this is a book page out of a book of this beautiful church image. Here I've got a shallow pocket, and in there I've got this little booklet. I used this image from Raindrop Lila. I just love it. It's Jesus and some sheep, and then the sun is shining through a rock formation. I just think that looks so pretty. And then I did wax it so you can see the writing on the page behind it come through, and that's just some pages from a prayer book. I took this one because it says Singing in Heaven. I like that. And then I just added the center part for writing. And then this back image is so pretty too, I think. And then on here, I just added some significant pieces of information for Mary. And put that back in the pocket, and I believe we are now on the last page. And I love doing a reindeer or stag or whatever this is for a Christmas themed journal. I just think that's so elegant. So that is my journal for Mary. I hope you enjoyed that flip through. And until next time, bye-bye.